Welcome to the Powerful Podcast, where you will learn the marketing, strategies, and beliefs to grow your dream business. Totally possible, and I'm so excited to share this with you. I'm Almira Bardai, and I grew and scaled my own business from zero to multi-millions and sold the business. And now I'm here to teach you exactly how to grow and scale your business from 6 to 7 figures and more with ease, simplicity, joy, and fun with, of course, strategy, mindset, and marketing to take you to that next level. This one's a deeply personal episode, and I'm going to talk about my why and why it rings so true for me. And also about operating in the frequency of the feminine. I promise they're totally related. So kick back, relax, stay to the end, and we're going to talk about this. So the world has been seeing, experiencing, and talking about the rise of the feminine. And what does that even fucking mean? It's about the energies, the feelings, as are typically said. You know, a woman is so emotional, but I'd like to tell you we all have emotions, man or women. And that's seen as being in the feminine. So even rage and anger, those are in the feminine. But being in the feminine and living in it is the highest quality of joy and love, like the highest vibration feelings. Again, it's not to say that you can't have the lower vibration feelings. And let me tell you, you can have some fucking great fun letting go of those lower vibration feelings like anger, like in an anger room where you smash shit. It's pretty awesome. And I actually lost 5 pounds talking about holding on to energy. Like, let me tell you. Anyways, going back to the feminine, it is about living in our intuition, tapping into the intuition that our patriarchal system has taken us and frankly robbed us of, disempowered us. And if you look at history, we went from being a pagan society and being really tapped into, rooted into earth. For women, it was moon cycles. Women also, like, we are literally connected to the divine. We create life. We are carriers of life, whether it's child or idea or business, it is all within us. And I mean, men have a womb area as well where they create from. All creation is from the feminine. And that was erased. How Mary Magdalene was positioned as being a whore. She was not, actually. Mary Magdalene was a very wealthy woman who basically supported Jesus so that he could do his amazing work in the world. And the Virgin Mary was not a virgin. And in fact, she was a very powerful, if not the most powerful priestess of the time. And so the feminine, sacred feminine, has been erased from our history. And so has the power of women. And we've been held in this patriarchal system. One thing I want to clarify, men are included in this. It's not just women. And we have been so disconnected from our power, from the power of our bodies. Our DNA actually holds light codes and abilities to create. And we are creators of our life. You know, it's not a matrix where you go 9 to 5 and work 9 to 5 and you get a paycheck. We actually, when tapped into a whole different consciousness, that's called the 5D, where it's love, joy, abundance, authenticity, our own truth, who we are, and our own power and self-sovereignty. And when we're in there, we literally have the ability to create our world because the universe actually responds to us. Everything in this world is energy, is energetic, and it responds to us. And what I love is the concept of cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. And are you living your life as the cause, or are you living your life in and as the effect? We were led to believe or treated as human machines, if you will. Work 9 to 5 on an assembly line, get a paycheck, and we were disconnected from our bodies and our powers and from our hearts. And everything was put into the mind and into the logical, what is defined as the masculine. And in this disempowerment, we have forgotten who we all are, and especially women have forgotten just how powerful they are. Again, we are made of energy, made of the universe, and in us is literally fucking stardust. How freaking wild is that? So why this work is that I do is so important to me in working with female entrepreneurs to grow and scale their business is to put them back into the seat of their power. And I teach the strategy, the marketing, the beliefs, the mindset, what we often look at as the doing, the masculine, the hard stuff. But we do it in the feminine, from joy, from ease, from fun. And honestly, how do we want our businesses and our lives to go? We're all not the same. One of my mentors, she's an 8-figure business owner. She's a homesteader in New England. That is her dream. It's not my dream. I know other women whose dream is to homeschool. I do not want to homeschool. I love my son to death. I do not want to homeschool. And honestly, he would suffer if I homeschooled him. He's way better off in school. Way better off. I digress. The why I do this is because we are all remembering just how powerful we are and reclaiming our rightful place in society. This is not about feminism and yeah, I mean, it is girl power, but in a whole different level. This is about women remembering just how extraordinary and amazing that we are, and that we get to do it from a very different place and a very different space, from our intuition, setting intents, being in joy, being in our dreams. How do we want things to be? And for me personally, why this is so special and important is because I was previously married, and the divorce was amicable. As amicable as things could be in when it is divorce, and we still remained friends. But I was able to make the decision to no longer be in my marriage because I had financial stability, because I was an entrepreneur and am an entrepreneur. I had my own financial stability. Even though we had a joint bank account, I also had my own bank account, and because we had various investments separately and stuff like that prior to the marriage. But because I had the choice of freedom and the choice of money, that I was able to make this decision. And also my family supported me. I live in Canada. I am a woman of color, but my family, my community is totally supportive of divorce. It's fine. I recognize my privilege. Not every community or parents, society is not supportive, one, of women's freedom, and two, of the ability to get divorced, and three, not every woman can leave a marriage, relationship, whatever it might be, because of financial reasons. And I've not forgotten my privilege and my ability to make a decision that I could, because I was safe and able to do so. And why I do the work that I do is to be able to support women in getting to that point that they have choice over their lives, with their families. And I'm not saying that you're going to, go out there and become this crazy person who's just destructing everything. I mean, maybe you do want to destroy everything, but at least in our work together and in building and creating a sustainable, strong, profitable business, growing it with ease and fun without the stress, you have the ability to make the decision for your lives, for your individual life, for your family's life, to create change in the community. Women have so much power. We are either told that we don't have power, we are made to feel like we don't have power, we are erased. And look at countries in the world like Afghanistan, where a woman's voice is no longer allowed to be heard on the outside of the house. And frankly, if she's singing on the inside of the house, she could get fined. Women are still being suppressed. And my why is to be able to support women to have better, stronger, profitable businesses, easier scaling, easier growth, so they can just fucking live with more joy, freedom, and ease, and more free time, frankly, to go to the spa, but also to make decisions and choice, again, for their families. Better education, better living environment, cash flow, building wealth, investments, stocks, real estate, whatever, you name it. That women have choice, and also women give back into the communities. Not to say that men don't. Some extraordinary men out there are doing incredible work. My work is focused on women. But I also want to teach women how to be entrepreneurs with ease, We are sold this bullshit lie about how hard entrepreneurship is. And I'm not going to lie, it's hard, but it doesn't need to be as hard, as exhausting, as stressful, and as like tear your hair out in wads out of stress, exhaustion, and fear as it's currently is. It doesn't need to be that way. There's a better way. I'm living proof of it. I have so much ease and free time in my life. And in human design, I'm a projector. I actually need that. And I had to create the spaciousness in my life to be able to do the work that I needed to do and to be me, frankly. But it's totally possible. We're sold this lie about, as an entrepreneur, we'll work 80 hours a week to live the life that somebody who's working 40 hours a week can't. Like, I don't subscribe to the whole fucking 80 hours thing. It's bullshit. But like I said, we as women are powerful. We have the ability to create our own lives, our own businesses. You know, if you're doing something in your business that you hate, why are you doing it? If you have a service that's not making any money, why are you doing it? Like, it's crap. And this is why I work with my clients to deep dive into their businesses to see what is working, what's not, what's making money, what's not. Could you open up a new service area? Could you make things easier? Could you make it better? How do you have more free time? How do you not have this stress? How do you delegate? How do you stop doing everything? Your business fuels the engine of your life. Okay. And so how do you want it to be, and how do you want it to feel? That's the most important thing. It's not just about how it looks. How does it feel? Does it feel easy? Does it feel easy to get big sales? Can you get big like money in? That's all the feminine. And I want to make women's dreams come true and to give them choice, to be able to give back to the freedom and the choice, the abilities that I was able to have. I'm so excited to announce my VIP experience, Scaling in Balance, taking place October 17th and with limited spots. We're going to start the day pouring into ourselves with wellness and yoga and sacred sacral activation practices to get those sacral chakras fired up where divine feminine life force is. And then we're going to dive into your business, looking at where you're stuck and paralyzed in indecision or just too much work, burnout, like you just can't move forward. We're going to get rid of all of that. See what is stopping you, where it's all stopping you, and literally just take it off your list, clean it up, find a better way of doing it, and you are going to leave so calm. You're going to feel like you can breathe again. You're going to be excited and ready to scale your business because you now have clarity and calm. It's taking place October 17th, which is the October full moon, perfect for releasing everything. And I promise you, this exquisite experience, you're going to feel like you are calm and in control of your business again, and just so energized and ready to work with divine to create this most magnificent business as you scale. It's going to be amazing. Scaling in Balance. We'll drop a link in the show notes. So I've talked a lot about my why here. And again, it goes back to what was erased. Oh, one thing I want to add, this one is so wild and important. Did you know that the priestesses in temples, and again, this goes back to the pagan days and so much history for hundreds of years, the priestesses were the world's first financiers, and temples were the first banks. And men, merchants, rich people would come, businessmen, businesswomen would come consult with the priestesses before they made any decisions. And kings and queens did the same. And so priestesses were advisors. It was our intuition, what we saw, what we intuited, what we connected with, our connections with the universe. And women and priestesses were revered for that. And again, money was held in temples. Temples were the first banks, and women were the first financiers. And I think that says so much as to the way the world is moving to and can work from a softer, harmonious, loving, working together society, right? We're talking about all of that. Anyway, so I wanted to share my thoughts on this and my why and why it's so deeply passionate to me. One example I also wanted to share about setting intent and following your intuition. So the first year that I started my business, myself and my business partner set an intent, we're going to make 100,000 this year. Second year, 250. Second year, 500. Third year, 750. Fourth year, a million. And by God, and to this day, it didn't even feel like that much hard work. Like it just happened. And I think it feels like it should have been harder. But we set an intent and we literally hit our numbers every single year. What we could have been doing on the back end was managing the money better. And I've talked about this in the first episode. But we set the intent and the universe matches us. The universe can only match us at where we're at. If you're willing to accept low, fine. Say you want to make $250. The universe will meet you there. Set a higher expectation. Women are also taught to settle, to have less expectation. And I'm not for that. I hold the strong expectation of everything in my life. You would not expect or allow shitty behavior or tolerate being treated badly by friends or a man, would you? So why would you expect the same from your clients or for money? And you can be soft in that expectation. Like it's not a wall, it's an expectation. And it's an expectation in the return of the value that you provide out to the world. But setting those expectations and also feeling comfortable having those expectations, particularly as a woman, because it's not ladylike to want money, which is bullshit. Because I'm sorry, how are you going to survive? It is completely ladylike to want money. Money is pleasure. Money is desire. And so going back to that intention, literally intent, a decision is what the universe matches. And it will happen. And especially get out of your own way. If you're in there interfering, questioning, and by the way, I question and freak out all the time, and I do that privately, and then I let it go because it's normal to be human and to freak out. But if you're staying in the energy of freaking out, like you're blocking it from happening. But when you set the intention, the universe matches it. And so I use that example of growing my business to a multi-million-dollar company in 5 years. And on the other side is that in 2016, I brought in $700,000 worth of business in 6 months. And why was that? I'd set an intention, actually set an intention for 500,000. I set an intention for what I was bringing in. And as I've talked about in a previous episode about sales and relationships and authenticity, I leaned on those skills to bring in more business, showing clients the results and the value that we would bring in our work together and what we would do for them. People buy because of what you will do. Like, what's the result? What's the benefit? So yeah, telling them about your systems is fine, but what's the actual result that you're going to deliver? That's why people buy. Showing in your authenticity how they would be treated, that they're not just a cog or a customer in your wheel. Who are they? How are they as people? Showing that caring attitude. And then also the client retention renewal. I'd mentioned again before that we renewed our clients. We'd had them for 10 years, and they were continuing to renew year after year. So that was a recurring piece of revenue in the business, which really helps settle the nervous system. But let me tell you, you need to have the right kinds of recurring revenue. If you hate working with a retainer client and you make a lot of money, like, you're not going to do the best. And honestly, you need to let them go, let go of the bad energy so you can make room for fresh energy. And so in making that 700,000 in 6 months, it was a combination of new business, a lot of new business brought in, plus the renewal of the retainer clients. And it all comes down to, as I've said before in sales, authenticity, relationships, and being true to who you are and to who they are. There you go. I've shared a lot today. I want to remind you just how powerful you are. And this is one of the areas that we look at in my program, Pathway to Millions. It's 5 key areas: your dreams, your intentions, your desires. I mean, that's the whole root of it. How do you want your life to be? How do you want to feel? How do you want your business to operate? And it's such a significant part. And we also look at your energetics and your nervous system. And then we look at marketing, revenue, money, cash flow management, systems and processes, and your leadership, all rooted in the feminine. That's the most important thing, because I can tell you how to do strategies or how to do marketing up the wazoo until the cows come home. But if it doesn't feel aligned to you, if it doesn't feel fun, if it feels exhausting, you're not going to do it, and you're just going to end up in the same place that you are already. So If you're ready to grow and scale your business, but with ease and joy and lush, I love that word. I've heard another coach use it, so it's not mine. I'm not going to claim credit on it. But if you are ready for your lush season, this is Pathway to Millions. Let's talk about that. The details are in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Powerful Podcast. I've so enjoyed sharing all of my insights, all my mistakes, all of my learnings as I grew and scaled my business from 6 to 7 figures. If you enjoyed this, please leave us a review. And then I'll send you back my top 3 ways to make $10,000. And I tell you, they're super easy, super creative, and super easy for you to implement. So please drop us the review, send it over, and we will send you back with my top 3 ways to make $10,000.